Yeah, so as usual, I was just kind of asleep at the wheel on some stuff and didn't realize that on a pretty regular basis they've been creating all these nice upgrades to the Doom 1 and Doom 2 package I bought through Steam. And a couple recent shows come up where you enlightened me to some of that, and some of our viewers did as well. And so this is catch up a little bit for me, but maybe some of the other folks don't know it either. And it's definitely worthwhile going back in. But they've really rounded out the capabilities of that package of Doom 1 and Doom 2 is just pretty fantastic. Because you get, now you're getting, that whole uh, additional episodes and items to play, some kind of big key mods. Uh, Multiplayer, which Mike and I have tested out, and given our occasionally limited skills from a technology perspective, didn't have really a problem at all setting it up. So, what did you think about that kind of quick exposure to their multiplayer stuff?
That was good. It was nice to get into. I was never a Doom like deathmatch guy or multiplayer guy. When Doom came out, I initially just had the shareware version, like a lot of people did. Had the shareware version of it, and then jumped to consoles after that.
Yeah, I did a lot of co-op with somebody, and then co-op that would, and it's interesting here because when you launch through Steam the multiplayer one and you pick cooperative, it forces you to remain cooperative. And maybe there's a setting you can go in and do it, but I tried my level best to shoot Mike a lot.
You did.
I blew up a barrel by him, just did everything I could, was inflicting no damage. So it was super disappointing. But in the olden days, connected up while you chose whether you were playing cooperative or deathmatch. I mean, the deathmatch option would kind of keep track a little more on victories, but a co-op mode could turn into a deathmatch. Usually, whenever I decided it was time to switch from co-op mode to deathmatch, it usually involved the rocket launcher. Um, but yeah, that was pretty slick. And so I think we'll be working on, of course, some Bog Pandavision uh, Doom maps that we'll make available through Steam and let you know on the Bog Pandavision part of our website. But if you haven't checked the multiplayer stuff out, do. That might be something for you and I to consider. I don't know if you've gone through all the other um, maps and episodes that they've kind of stocked that up with that on that menuing system now for Ultimate Doom, but um, we should probably try and co-op our way through some of that. I do think we're going to need to find a we when we were doing the testing, we kept uh, our Zoom meeting going up in one spot and then went into the game, which allowed us to talk, but um, it was also fighting the Doom game a lot from a volume perspective. So I think it looks like there might be a way to have voice within there as well. So that's something I'll dig. If you know, you watch it saying, yeah, dummy, it's right here. Let us know because that'd be super easy for us on there. But the multiplayer stuff was cool. But the other thing I wanted to make sure folks had gone out and take a look at is the archive that they have out there now, the IT archive. Um, Super cool, fascinating stuff where whether it's weapons or textures or the player or different decorations, they have iterations that they went through, some worksheets that they had for the various images. And so it's pretty cool to see. It was pretty cool, different logos, different splash screens, and all those types of things. So you can kind of go through and see uh, all kinds of kind of neat stuff from the archive. And so I think it's worth a spin if you haven't gone out there and checked that archive out to do it. And now you said you haven't really had a chance to go through that yet, much, Mike.
No, so for that, you do have to be logged into Bethesda for that, which is something that apparently was required originally for this package. On the latest editions of it, though, you don't have to be to play the games, but to access the archive, you do.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, there's the one item I was disappointed on is there was a it looked like they toyed with the idea of having a winged version of the imps. and it looked pretty cool what they were going to do. And I think it would have added a little more intimidation factor to the imps if they had this big kind of set of wings on it. But they had, the Doom guy face, like first iteration, he had like much darker hair. Then they had something towards the end where there was just um, a wide variety of different looks. That there was some thought that it might be for co-op mode, keeps just people distinct or those types of things. But pretty cool to see. So just encourage people to go out to Steam and check that stuff out because it is really, really cool. If you have tips for Mike and I on multiplayer, let us know that as well. Um, but yeah, we'll have to look at it. I think we might, if we do a cooperative game of some sort on that, we'll see what we can do to capture some footage to have you all watch Mike carry me through a Doom map as I go, where do we go next? Where are we at? Because reminder, no sense of direction. So you
Now,
need,
where are you at on speed running maps?
so again, no sense, I think it's cool to watch somebody who can do that. Um, it's not something I want to participate in because I know it'll end horribly for me because no matter how many times I played a level, I'm still going to come to a T section. I go, is it right or left? I don't really remember. So, which I think is not great for a speed run. But what about you?
So it's never been something that I've been into. I've tried a couple of times because on most versions it gives you the timer and then the par time that you want to try to get under, which is always, extremely low. So I have just for fun seen if I could just run through a level and make it under the par times for there. I have done it. So just for myself to do it just for fun, but the kind of like real speed runners you see online, nothing like that.
Yeah, the one place I could do great in speedrunners, I've been playing a little bit with Slade 3, which is a Doom mapping package. And you can kind of start to build your levels in that. And there's a nice, as you're in the editor, you can jump into a 3D editor where you're actually in the room and you just start pointing at walls and saying, change this texture, change that texture, raise this roof, etc. And the ceiling, and it's pretty cool. But that's in no clipping mode, so that is nothing stops you. You just go through the walls. So like, oh yeah, I could speed run in the 3D editor mode in Slade, but I don't think they allow that. That's a little bit unfortunate, but we just wanted to kind of give the thumbs up to Doom on Steam and check out those the updated copies are continue to add some nice features. They continue to update them regularly and some pretty great features. So we just because we like to talk about Doom, wanted to give that a plug. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think the Doom package is excellent. And for if you haven't purchased it, I think it's $5 or $6 or something on Steam. You get all of the episodes, all of the expansion packs, the new episode that they created for it, remastered music and visuals. It is all done on the Kex engine, which I know isn't everybody's favorite, but you can, use mods and things like that though on there too. So you're not stuck with that. The Kex engine, for people who don't know, it reworks it so that it runs better using a controller in addition to just the keyboard and mouse, like a lot of the PC people are used to. So I doubt that it really, I mean, you're using your keyboard and mouse, right, Kelly?
I am.
You didn't
Yeah.
have you didn't have any trouble getting around in the game, right?
Nope. Not at all.
I know there's purists who don't like that, but personally, I was using an Xbox controller, so I appreciate it.
Yeah. In fact, I haven't. I've been playing uh, the games quite a bit, and but I've been doing it mostly on the keyboard. Um, and but I've got my Xbox control up here. I should probably switch into that. It just I do find that for me, no sense of direction of my many flaws in gameplay. No sense of direction. Key runs across every game, racing game. there a turn coming up? What am I supposed to do? If there's a shortcut to find at some point, like in Mario Kart or something, I don't. It's not going to happen. Um, and then I'm a massive overcorrector, and so it uh, that I don't know if that comes from my Nintendo 64 play or not, but I really tend to overcorrect. So I found with the mouse, I can manage that a little bit better than I can with a controller. So, but most of my Doom play was on a keyboard anyway, so I'm just kind of used to that.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I think that's how most people were initially exposed to it. My switch over to the controller really happened because I got into the console ports of Doom. It was just a lot easier to and accessible because we just had the one, family computer, and it didn't run Doom as well as 32X did. So I had 32X Doom. That was fun to run through. A lot of the console versions are pretty good, setting aside like 3DO and the Super Nintendo version. I'm excited to see the Super Nintendo remaster though that they've been teasing. And also, I did want to ask too, do you happen to have the Quake remaster? Because I wonder if we could do multiplayer in that as well. I'm sure we can.
um, no, but I'm sure it's also that, you know, its price point will be similar. It may not be Doom price point, but it'll probably be very
Yeah.
similar.
I think
So,
it was actually less, but Quake
oh,
and Quake 2 are separate.
okay.
So I think it was like $3 or something for the Quake remaster.
Okay. I think I can establish a GoFundMe and get those. And yeah, we'll do that because that'd be kind of fun to do multi. Cause boy, it's been a long time since I've been in Quake. A long time. So yeah, we'll check that out. So if you've done
I'm
that,
having fun because I played Quake when it came out, but not anywhere near to the extent that I played Doom. So I've been having a lot of fun with it lately because I have the remaster on here, and then of course playing on Nintendo 64 and Saturn. And there's a lot of differences between the PC, Nintendo 64 and Saturn versions, so it's kind of interesting to play all three. But I don't at all have the knowledge of the maps the way that I do of Doom. That first episode, the shareware episode of Doom, I played so much that I still just instinctively know where everything is on every level of the first episode.
yep, I saw you zip to the first secret room right away. I was like, I'm gonna beat Mike to that. I was like, nope, he's already in there. So, but yeah, yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, it's always been a long time. And then, did you ever play Unreal?
No, no, I never played Unreal. I've seen it. I think I did play a little bit with a friend over their house once, but no real experience with it.
I was a big fan of the OG Unreal. Thought that was pretty sweet as well. So, and then there was a good kind of multiplayer deathmatch Unreal tournament environment, which was also excellent. Really, really good. So, cool. Well, let us know in the comments. Doom, Quake, Unreal, where are you at on some of those? Are you going back in? Are you getting these remastered copies for steel on Steam and enjoying them that way? Are you a controller guy or gal, or are you more of a keyboard person? So that's a lot of comments you need to leave us. We'll give you time. Don't
It's a
rush.
lot.
Yeah. I mean, if you're writing a comment, you might as well subscribe while you're there. Just help us out. Give a thumbs up to a video. Um, watch a hard no or two. World's Shortest Podcast.
Or 100.
Yeah, or 100 would be nice. Uh, go to the website or look in the show notes for the video, and you'll find a link to a merchandise site and buy a t-shirt or two. And that's all we ask. It's not much.
Bog Panda.